Hi, everyone, and welcome to the very first learning experience for this course outside of, the day one introduction sections. This is where we're going to start diving into how we're thinking about this course and starting to think about the ways that we can connect to the various projects that we have. So we have two major projects in this course. The first one is a critique of a learning experience or learning space where you're going to have a chance to kind of explore something that exists. We've had several cases through it, and I'll talk about that in a second. And then the second major assignment is for you to be able to create a proposal for a learning experience of your own. And so we're going to just start and dive right in. The way that I've organized these sections is that on the first day of the week, you're going to dive in and you're going to have a chance to be able to explore a specific case study around a learning environment connected to STEM. And then the second day, what you're going to do during that week is you're going to have a chance to be able to explore those connections to leadership. And so during the week, outside of some of the assignments, this is the way that we're going to build discussion in this course. For today's learning experience, we're going to be focusing on a very specific project, and that's the Learning in Spaces project that comes out of Dr. Megan Bang's work at Northwestern University. And so I'm going to have you do a couple of things. I'm going to have you really dive in and explore the website a little bit and just look at the parts that you're interested in. It talks about, about the project, connections to families. Remember, again, we're focusing on community, classrooms, and then there's just a community tab as well. So just spend some time exploring and seeing what's interesting to you. One of the things I really want you to focus on after you have a sense of the project is to look specifically at the educator frameworks. And you'll see that there's in the middle, there's an infographic that kind of explains the three main connections to the project. But then below there are four separate education frameworks, or I want to look at them as design frameworks. And what I'd like you to do is to dive into those and pick one that's of interest to you and spend a little bit of time just thinking about it. You can do some extra research on it. Because one of the things I'm going to do is have you just kind of write a quick reflection on your thoughts. So the first thing is to spend some time just learning about the project. And then after that, I'm going to have you go through and read one of Dr. Bang's articles called Learning on the Move Towards Just Sustainable and Cultural Thriving Futures. And it's a really fascinating article, again, connected to all of this work. And what I'm going to have you do with that one is I'm going to have you, the links are in the discussion, but the very next section in Canvas is a link to a hypothesis link connected to Canvas. And what Hypothesis is a social annotation tool that you may have used in some of your other courses. And we're going to use it usually for at least one article a week, just to have a chance to kind of share some ideas on the thoughts of the organization, kind of what do you notice, what do you wonder? And so you'll see in the discussion, I want you to focus on the different parts of the research article, the introduction, the background of literature and frameworks, the methods section, your thoughts on the results and discussion and conclusion. And so in each of those sections, you're going to have a chance to kind of go through and annotate interesting parts that you found, along with just what do you notice, then what do you wonder. As additional information, I have a video of Dr. Bang talking about, again, the project and some of the work, being outside and diving into that. And so those are the three main sections of this particular project. And you'll see at the very bottom that all of this is explained in the post of the discussion board section for what I'd like you to be able to do. And so as you start thinking about, being able to look at and critique and explore learning spaces or building your own or proposing your own, this is the first of the cases we'll explore. We're going to dive into a bunch more throughout the course, and I'm excited to see what you all come up with. Let me know if you have any questions whatsoever.